Hey guys, it's Aubrey from Monthly Plans. I hope everybody is having a fantastic Sunday. um, so this week's plan with me, I decided to go with a more summer theme. I pulled out this wonderful washi. I got it from a little, I think it's a Korean store. It was a like stationary-ish store inside a world market store, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know. It's in OKC though. World Market. They have a little store at the front. Um and it's really nice. Anyway, so I'm not gonna spend so much time on that seashell tape. But it is something I did pick up there. This blue is actually a Scotch tape. I got it in a group of 3, I think. This is probably my favorite one out of that grouping. I got it about 3 years ago at Walmart. Chances are not there anymore. Um, and actually, I misspoke. That would have been 4 years ago at Walmart, probably. Maybe even 5, because it was when I was still in Fort Worth. Either way, this is my favorite. It's like a little dusky blue, and then it's got that cool little diamond pattern in white. And then this seashell washi tape is probably one of my favorites. I just love the design. It's fairly realistic and I love the pastel-y colors and that it has different seashells on it. So that's why I chose it. I was feeling kind of like in a blue mood, and this just scratched that itch for me. So that's why I went with it. I was also not really wanting a whole lot of deco this time. So I know in my past weeks, like looking back, like I've had a ton of bulky deco, sticker heavy, like all of that going on. And I do like that most weeks, but this week I was just I wanted a little bit of simplicity. So I just decided to go with the majority of my deco being these washi tapes. I did, however, pull out my Agenda 52 booklet. I believe it's Wildflower, and I pulled a few appointment labels. If you have been around the last few weeks, then you would know that those are to indicate when we need to give our pup Ethel shots. So I go ahead and put those down. She gets them every other day up until Thursday, and then she goes to every 5 days, which is nice. I decided to go ahead and take that washi tape and put it as like that header right there at the top, just under that monthly calendar. Sometimes I want to cover up that monthly calendar, and other times I don't really care if it's covered up or not. This was one of those weeks where I did not mind having that calendar showing. You'll also see that I really wanted to get like a full seashell in that little column, and it was not working with me very well. So I did have to reposition my tape and recut some tape. It probably would have worked a lot better if I had like an actual washi tape card or something instead of a stack of post-it notes, but you know, we use what we have within reach. So this week was actually a good week. I did work from home quite a bit. I got all of my continuing education done. So for those of you who don't know, I am an athletic trainer. I do live in Oklahoma, and my national boards of certification is actually due. I actually think they pushed it to February of next year, but usually it's the 31st of December. And so my goal was, before I lost my job, or, my contract for my job ran out, I wanted to have all of my continuing education completed because also, if you haven't been around, then you may not know, but I will actually be going back to college to get my prerequisites to hopefully pursue a degree in physician assistant studies. I'm very nervous being 31 and going back to college, but hopefully it won't be too bad. Wish me luck. Classes start Monday, so it'll be the day after this video posts. I decided to use this very pretty purple blue to mark in 2 special days for work this week. It's called the First 100. It's basically we get a whole new batch of trainees in at work, and we go out there and make sure that they are safe and healthy individuals to begin training. So I went ahead and marked those in using that purpley blue, and I also went ahead and wrote in that appointment label is specifically to denote that Ethel has shots. I guess I could just write in and skip the appointment label altogether, but honestly, the amount of appointment labels that you get in all of these sticker books, I need to do something with them, So I decided, why not just slap those on there? Need to use them up anyway. I had a few things, so this is just the setup that I'm doing right now. I had a few things that were definitely happening in the week, and so I went ahead and put those down. I have my current job, which I will be finishing up the end of this month, officially finishing up the end of this month. But then I also have a second part-time job, which I will be continuing on for as long as they'll have me, and it's at the local college. So I will be working with them to do physicals and stuff. If you've ever worked in a collegiate athletic environment, then you know that the beginning of the school year is always hectic. You're having to get those physicals done for your athletes, as well as ensuring that everybody has their paperwork in, such as insurance, and stuff like that. So, very hectic time at the part-time job, and it makes me very happy that I am part-time. I used to be full-time at college, at the college level, and I don't miss it. I do not miss it. So I'm very grateful that I get to be part-time and help this college out, but I do not have all of the full-time craziness that goes on with being full-time. Anyway, at first I was going to just do these little swatches because I really like this bluish purple color, and I thought it went really, really well with the theme. I started out with those swatches, but then later on you'll see I go in and I actually use some sticker labels that say working remotely, just because I thought they went with the theme better and made the overall spread look more clean. I'm also adding in this 8 p.m. slot. I always mark a line through that because I have a standing phone call with my mom every night at 8 p.m. And I was really, again, loving this. This marker is a Mr. Pen. I would tell you the color other than, the bluish purple. But unfortunately, Mr. Pen does not actually tell you what color their pens are. It's the craziest thing to me. I've never seen a company not put that on their pen, but I guess they just don't care. So I love using their pens. Uh-oh, dog. Life is lifing. I do enjoy their pens. I just wish they would put the names on them. That that fountain pen, by the way, that I'm using is the TWSBI Echo, and it is the espresso bronze. I love it. It writes very thick for a medium nib. It is a medium nib. And then the ink that I have in it is Birmingham Pinco Megalodon. That's the only Birmingham Pinco ink that I have. I do like it. I know some people have some bleed through issues with it, but I actually enjoy it quite a bit. So, and I haven't, knock on wood, had any issues with it. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just the batch that you get. I'm not really sure. Here's where I go in and I actually mark in or take those stickers and use that to mark the working remotely. I have been doing more and more of that lately just because the hands-on portion of my job is actually basically done, with the exception of me going in Tuesdays and Wednesdays to cover those fills. There's really nothing I can do physically at work, so I do a whole lot of remote stuff. So I'll work on, continuing it and whatnot to meet my hour requirements. So I actually, on Monday, or maybe it was Tuesday. When was it? Probably Tuesday. Yeah, so Tuesday, because I didn't really get a chance to get in my planner on Monday. I just got sick and I didn't really want to. I just wanted to sit and rot on the couch, and so that's basically what I did. So this is me filming on Tuesday now, and I was told by my part-time job, oh, actually, we switched. We're not doing physicals at 5:30 anymore, 5:30 p.m. on Friday. We're actually going to be doing them 1 to 5 on Friday, which was fine. I didn't have to switch a whole lot of my life choices around, which was good. But I did have to go back in and correct that, of course, in my planner. And then Monday, like I mentioned before, I was sick. So this is just me. When I have a day, like good, bad, ugly, all of that, to the point where something just takes it over and I don't necessarily recall whatever. What I did with that day, I will just write a quick, like, blurb, if you will, about the day or how I felt in the space of that day, just basically to fill space, and then also that way I can look back in and be like, oh man, that was a great day, a bad day, or whatever type of day it was. So I did that. I think I did get a little bit of recording in on Monday, which I'll go back in and mark in, but that was pretty much it. I pretty much rotted on the couch when I wasn't doing work stuff, and yeah, that was me. I did also on Wednesday. I had a few things. I had a couple of reasons to go up to school this week. The first one was I had a paper that I needed to get into our human resources department so that I could get um, some a discount basically for my schooling, because I'm lucky the university that I work at and attend does offer like a discount for its employees, whether you're part-time or full-time. They'll offer a discount if you go to school there, which I'm very appreciative of, and am 100% gonna be taking advantage of. So I did go and turn some of that paperwork in, as well as speak with my supervisor for the athletic training, just to touch base and make sure that everything is okay. And then after I completed that, I actually wound up having a pretty rough headache. But to be honest, it was self-inflicted because I definitely have not been on top of my water intake. That's something I'm going to have to watch because I've definitely noticed, especially the way my schedule is like has been and will be. I'm definitely noticing I'm sliding back into myself that was a college athletic trainer 4 years ago. Like I have been pretty good about eating, but then Friday I went straight into work and I got done at around like 4 and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry." And I realized I didn't eat all day. So, I definitely need to hold myself accountable and make sure that I'm not doing anything crazy and, eating when I'm supposed to, stuff like that. So, I did get a couple of fun recording sessions. It was great. I'm probably gonna gush about the one on Wednesday the most because it was hands down my most favorite um, video I've ever recorded. It was one where my husband KB, he has 3 fountain pens and he chose inks for it because he's going to nursing school and he's about to start. And so he chose 3 inks for his 3 fountain pens so that he'll have them for nursing school. Pretty confident he did it mostly just to make me happy, but it worked. So yeah, good for him. But it was so much fun because I actually learned a lot about him. Um, well, I mean, I already know a lot about him, but I learned more about him, and that's always so exciting to me. Like I said, I'm gushing a little bit, but basically, he explained while I was swatching for him why he chose the different inks, and so I got to learn a lot more about like I don't know his thought process on why did you choose this color. And he's like, well, it's the color of this. It reminds me of this video game. He's a huge gamer. And it was wonderful and fantastic. And if you haven't seen that one, please go back and watch it. It's going to be the video that was released on this channel right before this one that you're watching right now. And I love it. It was so much fun. He did have a really nice color palette. And he chose colors that like I mean they're just very pretty. So, yeah. Anyway, okay, I'm done gushing. At the end of that, I did put a few highlights under that 8 p.m. Line. On Wednesday, the highlight was mostly a quote from KB. He was gaming, and if you don't know, we do share a space. He is a gamer. I'm a journaler. I love fountain pens and I knit, and so luckily we get to be in the same space, and we call it our together alone time. Anyway, so he was gaming, and I just hear him out of the blue say, "Am I being cheeks?" to his friends because he's on the video chat with his friends. And I heard that and I couldn't help but laugh. And I was like, man, that's KB for do I suck at this? And it was so funny. I had to write it down in my planner. And then Monday, I did have the highlight of I have had a blanket I have been working on for KB for the past 3 months. It's my first blanket that I've ever knit, and I finally finished it. I just have to weave in the ends, and it is good to go. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Um, yeah, anyway, pretty exciting things this week. But yeah. And then this is my very, very messy, unorganized, but semi-organized sticker release notebook. I got it for like, it was a pack of 2 of them on Amazon. I think I got them for $8. That was pre-tariffs. And they work really well. I use them like if I have a sheet or a booklet that's pretty close to being completely finished, then I will just stick the stickers in there. I have them semi-categorized, but they're just not labeled as the categories. I flip through it so much that I actually know pretty well where stuff is. So, and then Thursday was kind of low-key a boring day. After, you know, the morning time work, everything, me and KB went and finished paperwork for my chapter 35. So I am very blessed. Again, in the schooling realm, my husband is a veteran, and he was able to sign over one of the financial assistance type deals to me for me to complete my schooling. It's called the Chapter 35. And so we just had to go in and do some paperwork because the official like acceptance from the VA came in for me. So we got that done, and then we just kind of chilled the rest of the night. Also in there, which I forgot to put in the actual time that it occurred, but I had a killer lower leg workout, and I am so sore today. This was Thursday, so it's definitely DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, but man, that was a kick-in workout that I had, and I'm still feeling it. So, yeah. On Friday, it was a long day. So this was actually the day that I forgot to eat until like 4. And I didn't drink a whole lot of water. And so I did have a headache. I didn't mark it down because at this point I was certain it was self-inflicted. And so, might as well not. So, but I did go in for 4 or 5 hours and do physicals, and then I came home. I was really lucky. KB cooked some honey garlic chicken. It was very good. He wasn't as impressed with it for himself, but I thought it was delicious. But I was also really hungry, so it could be that too. On Saturday, which is today, we had a relatively relaxing-ish Saturday. We woke up, had coffee. We did do a little bit of work on our horse pen. If you've ever done barbed wire or anything like that, give me any tips or tricks you have for getting it super duper tight enough, because yes, it is difficult. We were both cranking on it, and we mostly got it, but man, fencing's no joke. I have great respect for anybody who does fencing for a living. Anybody. Those are some strong individuals. But after that, we went in and showered, and kind of had a like 30 to 45 minutes of relaxation time. Then we went and had lunch with KB's friend Chris. I wasn't originally gonna go, and then number one, I was asked if I wanted to go, and then number two, they made the mistake of putting their lunch at my favorite restaurant, so Thai Bistro, Lawton, Oklahoma. So I definitely went and got some Thai bistro. I also, like midway through, planning through today, I remembered, oh, it was Dana's birthday, my friend Dana's birthday yesterday. I need to put that down somewhere. Don't worry, I did message her happy birthday yesterday morning. I'm not that bad of a friend. I forgot, to put that down. So I went back, put that down, and then went back to planning today. So after lunch, we did take a nap. And I don't know if y'all have noticed, but if you've been following for a little bit, you may have noticed that we are not napping quite as much. I have no explanation for this, but it's been nice. I feel like, get to do a little bit more during the day. I don't know. Anywho, and then just the rest of this evening, I've got a medley of things that we're doing, but mostly we're just having family time and relaxing again together. So I went ahead and marked that in. We try not to do anything too crazy over the weekends, and relax. I mean, we do a lot of relaxing, but we're about to have pretty huge life changes, so I'm not gonna stress us over that. So, oh, and also I remembered about, like, me and KB getting to film. And of course, I didn't even read my planner. I put the happy moment on the wrong day, but it was just, it was such a fun video. I really need to get off that topic. I'm sorry, guys. Anywho, but yeah, this is pretty much it. I did do a little bit of future planning on Sunday, but I mean, I think it's kind of what most planners do as well, is like when you hit the weekend, you tend to be doing things. So you're not really in your planner quite as much as, you might usually be. So yeah, I did a little bit of future planning after this. But other than that, yeah, it was a pretty relaxing week, I guess, for the most part, and can't really complain. Let me know down in the comments, how was y'all's week? The heart behind me wanting to do this channel is because I do live in a rural area in Oklahoma, and I do not have very many planner friends. Actually, none. Well, I mean, I have people, I guess, on Instagram, but like I don't know. Like, show me your planners. I don't know if you can do that in the comments, or maybe let me know what planner you're planning in, stuff like that. I'd really like to get to know y'all. Also, if you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. That is 100% for free for you. And I don't know, it gives me the warm fuzzies. Also, if you haven't subscribed and you would like to, feel free to hit that subscribe button as well. Other than that, I'm going to leave you to the rest of this plan with me, and I hope you have a phenomenal week ahead. Bye.